If you follow my channel, this project is going to be a little different from what you're used to. I normally focus on miniatures and dioramas, but every now and then a different type of project will catch my eye. So when a local bar asked me if I could help them with something super neato, I just couldn't refuse. Today, my dear audience, we're making a custom cocktail smoker. But first, I have to figure out what the heck that means. Okay, so it's not actually that complicated. A simple smoker just needs a metal chamber for the wood chips, a glass chamber for the smoke, and a fan to connect the two. That's not so bad. So let's jump into Blender and start designing this bad boy. I started by modeling the glass dome and the wooden box to make sure I had all my dimensions correct. And remember how I said there were only 3 parts? Well, in typical Jordy fashion, I decided to add a few things as I was working. I thought it would be cool to be able to control the fan speed with a dial, so I added one. The fan also needs an airtight shroud so smoke doesn't spill everywhere. I also added a light to the center of the smoke chamber because all drinks look better when they're lit from the bottom. Lastly, I needed some way to control the dial, so I opted to make a case for an Arduino Nano. I want this to look modern. That means clean sharp edges, brushed brass accents, and flush insets. The LEDs are too bright as they are, but turning them down will cause them to flicker on camera. So rather than mess around with resistors, I opted to place the lights at the bottom of a tunnel, which also helps to focus the beam directly into the drink. Alright, let's see if I can actually pull this off. It's time to do some woodworking. So I may have forgotten to record the assembly process of the box. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if I can make a detailed reenactment of how it went. Not too bad. Now that the box is made, it's time to turn the cover and the speed knob on my lathe. Alright, it's time to get down to brass tacks. I've never worked with sheet metal before, so I'm figuring this out as I go along. I need a brass insert to go here. After some quick measurements, I have a template for the size and shape. Then it's just a matter of cutting it out. Okay, not perfect, but thankfully it's easy to clean up those edges with some sandpaper. Admittedly, this turned out better than I thought it would. Now I just need to cut out the rest of the brass accents. I tried a polished look for the brass, but I really didn't like it, so I went back with a brushed look instead. Time to test the electronics in the breadboard to make sure everything works. And the fan is operational. Now I just need to solder it all together. Before I attach the components, I want to print the board housing and all the mounts. I used heat set inserts to make it easy to access the board later on, and man, these things are satisfying to melt in place. After test fitting all the components, I can finally put a finish on this wood. Rubio Monocoat is pricey, but it's foolproof to use and leaves a beautiful, durable finish. I also printed a guide to drill the holes for the smoke chamber. I decided last minute to make a magnetic ash disposal device. I embedded the magnets in the print by pausing halfway through. And with that, the cocktail smoker is finished. Let's roll the glamour shots.
Guy again?
Last thing, yeah.
How many fucking oranges we went through today?
Jesus. Oh, we still didn't get the B-roll of that.